Hi everybody, it's Kristin and welcome to day 11 of the 31 Days of Kristin. I am standing in my kitchen today because I thought I would show you, and this actually was requested, so I thought it was a good time to do it today, some of the things that I use in my cupboards to organize. I'm kind of an organizer like that, so I thought I would go ahead and show you some of those things. Let's ignore my crazy hair today. It's so humid, my hair doesn't know what to do with itself. So, anyway, excuse me, we're going to start with the spice cupboard, which is what I have here. And I apologize that it's kind of weird sunlight, but what are you going to do? So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit, and then I will show you kind of what I use in my spice. Okay, so hopefully you guys will be able to see one of the things that I utilize in there. There's actually one back here, and I use it because that's a corner that is difficult to get to, but I can still turn this around and reach everything that's back in that corner. I use one of these, and this is a turntable, turn something. I just get these at Kmart, Walmart, wherever. And you can either use the two-tiered ones, or you can use, just use the bottom part of it so it turns. And then I have one up here as well. And then this right here, this I got at Bry Lane or something. I'll try to list it below if I can find the link if they still sell it. But I'm sure they have things other places. It's just where I found mine. And this is a spice rack that pulls out and down like that, and then it sits there. So you can grab what you need out of there and then go ahead and put it back up. It did come with labels, which I actually have sitting on top of here, but I like to move things around too much to label. Normally I label everything, but for my spices I kind of like to move them around. So all three drawers will pull out like that. The top ones are taller than the bottom ones. I just really enjoyed this spice rack and find it very helpful for organizing in this cupboard. Okay, so you can tell that this cupboard is probably not quite as organized as I normally would like it to be. We did just have company, and so I have some extra food in here that we normally wouldn't have. But I thought I would go ahead and show you some of the things that I use. And mainly I have bought some Tupperware sets along the line that have some containers that are too large. I don't use that much flour in a day or in a month or whatever. So I use them for other things. I actually to pull it out and show you. So this is just one of those really big, I don't even know how many cups this holds. I don't know. This is just a really big Tupperware container. And so in here I have a bunch of Tastefully Simple spices and a salsa mix and just some random things that I have together. And it just keeps them together and not all strewn about. So I'm going to take that out, and I also will utilize some of the smaller ones for, I've talked about those things that I use for roasts, like these things. I keep those sort of packages in a container like this. Again, so they're not just all random in there. I just really can't deal with random, so I organize. The last thing in here that I want to show you is actually an office supply utensil thing. So these are drawers. I actually think I used to use this in my makeup area. But anyway, so any of your like dressing mixes and that kind of thing, I actually have a box of Italian dressing mix in there. I keep those in here. Just any kind of smaller things in bags. You can use one of these things. You can use the bigger ones to do some things. So just kind of think outside the kitchen area when you're trying to find things to organize in your cupboards. So this area is all the Tupperware and Rubbermaid and that sort of thing. And really, it's difficult for anybody to keep this organized. But this is, I do the best that I can. And I actually need to go through this container, the one that I'm going to show you, because I think there are some covers in there for containers we've thrown out. But this is just it's a Rubbermaid tote, like that you would find just in the normal section. And that is, I showed this in my organizational, or in my cleaning video, but I thought I would just kind of mention it again, that you can use those to store all your covers in, and then it ends up, it's just a lot more neat and organized, and you can go to one place to find your cover and that sort of thing. And the rest of it, you just kind of have to organize in whatever way works for you, and this is the way that we found to work for us, and I do a lot of stacking and nesting and that sort of thing. While we're in this cupboard, I just want to mention that I also do the same thing with this container with my potatoes and onions. That's where I keep them, and that works for us as well. The very last thing that I want to mention, and again I showed these when I was doing some cleaning, is we had this cupboard space that wasn't getting utilized, and I have a lot of serving utensils or funny little Pampered Chef kitchen gadgets and that sort of thing that I just didn't know what to do with because I don't use them every day. So I bought 2 of these containers And one I just left the cover on, and so I have a lot of different gadgets in there. And then this one I don't have the cover on, so that I can just pull it in and out almost like it's a drawer, if that makes sense. And so that is how we utilize that space. Otherwise, this would just be wasted space. And if we put stuff back there, it would be really hard to get to. So I kind of, like I said, I kind of use this like a drawer. I pull it in and out. And the things that I use even less often go down in this one. The last thing that I wanted to mention, and I meant to show you this when I was over here before, is that I have repurposed something I used to use for some makeup palettes. Most people would use it for letter sorting and that sort of thing. Right back here, and I use that for my cutting boards. It keeps them, you know, more upright so that they don't get, generally, they're not supposed to get warped and that sort of thing. But that's what I do for those. I actually could probably get one that's a little bit sturdier, but I was repurposing, you know, one that I had already. But so that just stands there, it keeps them upright and easy for me to access. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. You have to let me know if you want to see more of these kind of things, or if you're like, yeah, duh, Kristin, we do all of those things. But I just thought I would show you a few kind of cupboard organizational tips that I have found over the years that work for me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!